I ain't no rich man. Oh, but I got a lot to give. So leave me alone. I wanna take care of my own. I ain't no rich man.
What's going on? What's going on, Bear Nation? Bear Nation, what's going on? It's me, G Walker, one half of the CNG podcast, man. Y'all know who that is right there, bro. You don't need no introduction. Y'all know who this is right here. It's my guy, the one and only. Y'all know who this is. Talk to him, Shy.
What's good with it, CNG?
What's good, big dog?
As always, what's cracking?
Man, we got to do what we got to do, man. It's the off season, but we got to get started about these draft picks, these restructure deals, these free agents. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get to it, man. So got a couple more things I got to do, then we're gonna get right to work. You feel me? Let's get this music back going one more time, and then we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Whoa. Look, man, shout out to the 12 people that's in the building right now, man. It's me, G Walker, and Shad of the CNG podcast. Man, we up here talking a little bit of bear football. We're going to talk a little, what we got to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. The draft is coming up. We got new free agents that came, Kobe Bryant and Devin Bush and, what's his name? Grady Bradbury or something like that. And, me and Shad, we ain't really had a chance to come up and talk ball about none of this stuff since it happened, man. So y'all kick back, hang out with us, and we're going to get to it, man. So, Shad, how you been, bro?
Good as always, man. Always good to be with you, man. Talking ball and talking shop, man. It's been a lot going on since we last linked.
Oh, you know it, man. So, man, I don't even know where to begin, man. So, I'm gonna let you kick it off, big dog. Like, how you want to get into it? You want to get into the draft first? You want to get into like you always say, you owe me money. You want to get it to the guys that owe us money potentially, man. They got to restructure them deals, bro. Because, that's a topic, man. Jalen Johnson, Montez, maybe Cole Kmet, Dio Bango, you know what I mean?
But I don't know if we go into that, though. We go into the context in terms of restructures, man, based on what a cap is. We had conversations about what a cap is right now for the Bears going into this season, not looking at the long-term game. What we restructuring for? The context for me is kind of like if we're going to go into the bank or the vault now to do what specifically to address what need. At this point of free agency, I don't know if it's a positive thing right now. If you're looking to do that, I think you're looking to just have some extra cash just to say you have it. And I guess what that means is if they don't have a target, I don't see no need to go into the bank, bro. Balance your books. Balance your books.
Balance your books. Because you got people talking about the rookies got to get paid, and you know what I'm saying. We might be looking at a Josh Sweat potential trade. I saw there's a couple of things that make you say, you know what I mean? Like, who would we want to restructure for, and who would we want to reconstruct for? So it just goes to your point, man. If we really don't have nobody that we really need to target and make sure that we, get somebody for the reconstruction, it really ain't no point of opening up the bank. But you was nice enough, man, to give me the 2026 active roster. The guys with the most money right here, man. So shout out to Shy bringing up the information. Montez Sweat at $25 million, Jalen at $24, Joe Tooney $21, Dio Bango at $20, Jonah at $19. Like it's some bread on here, man. Grady Jarrett at $18, Kyler $12, Cole Kmet $11, TJ Edwards, you know what I mean? 10. Shy, like there's some money, man. There's some money.
Look what the account of the money is defensively. How much of that is on defensive players? Mm-hmm. For a team that is supposed to be constructed for an offensive-led team or built on offense. Where's the money? The money's there. Kyler Gordon at 12 ticket. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Grady Jarrett, that's his ticket. Grady Jarrett. Dio Dangbo, that's his ticket. Jalen Johnson, Montez Sweat, it's $50 million. I don't know, man. Balance your books, bro. Here's the thought, man. Like, if you can't trade none of those guys who you feel that they're part of your team out of necessity or because they functionally serve as good enough starters to be what you need for your overall team, then performances are going to have to improve. Dramatically.
Yeah, dramatically. Because these guys are going to have to play, man. Montez got to play. Jalen got to play. All these dudes got to pay, man. If I pay you, I got to play you. You know what I mean? So it's going to look real ugly here going forward, man. Just as far as just these guys who have not produced, that need to produce based off the type of money that they get. We're paying Montez $25 million. Like it's not going to cut it, bro. Jalen Johnson $24 million. Like it's ugly, man.
Well, here's a bigger point though, G. Lean into what you're talking about, leaning towards the offseason conversation. Mm-hmm. The reason the Bears weren't so aggressive going towards giving up 2 first rounders, they had the money, bro. Mm-hmm. They got $50 million in 2 defensive ends. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of coin. That's a lot of coin. And you want to add the $30 million to it? Let's be realistic, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a lot of money, man. $50 million between 2 players, and you're not even getting 30 sacks between them, both of them. You know what I mean? We ain't even touching 29 sacks. Like neither one of them got over 11 sacks, 12 sacks, man. So it's going to have to be reconstruction, man. So I came up with this graphic, man, and I just came with the graphic. It could be other people you might want to get into that. You know what I'm saying? We might have to take some of their money, man. You got Jalen at 24, Montez at 25, Cole Kmet at 11, Grady at 20. Like these should be the guys that if they have to go to the bank and have to restructure, these are the guys I would want to get some of that money back from. What do you think about this one?
I don't know. Again, who's your top 5 players on your team? Your top 5 players deserve to be paid like top 5 players on your roster. So unless you're replacing those guys with other guys at that position or in a different spot at the same level, ain't nothing to conversate about. Really it's not. Because, I mean, the guys that you're looking at here, I mean, when you talk about a dang bro, you can't trade him. Montez, if you do trade him, you're gonna get half a dollar on it, right? Same thing with Jalen coming off a year where he was injured most of it. Cole Kmet serves you probably the most value, but at this point, new draft picks serve you better value down the road than Cole Kmet does right now. Hate to give up the type of insurance that Cole Kmet can offer if Coastal Loveland misses some time. He did leave the last game he played as a Bear. So let's just be realistic. Over 17 to 18 weeks, you're going to need 2 tight ends. $8 million for above or at average tight end in the NFL and a bad quarter to spend, especially when he's homegrown.
Well, I agree with everything that you said, man. So with that being said, man, we're going to move off this, man. We're going to get into the draft talk. This is going to probably be the majority of the conversation right here. Man, it's going to be the majority.
Well, before you jump in the draft, bro, I mean, let's go back to the bread. Neville Gallimore.
All right, hold on. Let me get back to it.
Contavious Sweat. Dio Adangbo. Devin Bush. Ruben Hippolyte. DeMarco Jackson. Kobe Bryant. Cam Lewis. Elijah Hicks. These are guys that they signed. These are the guys that are going to be in the rotation or starters for next year. Does that serve to make you feel like the ceiling is getting higher, or the overall defensive unit in terms of its versatility or improvement based on what the needs were are met? I feel it's a little shaky. Given the reports from previous years of Ryan Poles, when he does invest in defensive line, how it has not bear fruit. So looking at 2 more free agents in the class coming in, even though it's a cheap deal, you still would like to get some productivity. So I got to go back all the way. I think it was to, maybe Justin Davis, defensive tackle, the last guy that came in and had some type of relevant run for the Bears under Ryan Poles. That's tight. One guy out of 5 or 6, that's not a good average. I mean, Devin Bush got $30 million, so that's $10 million a year for a linebacker. Even though he did come off a good year in Cleveland, they did have a good overall unit, so he wasn't by himself tearing shit up. I do like his speed. When you put that with Hippolyte, who was drafted last year, and then you add that with DeMarco Jackson, you got arguably 3 of the fastest linebackers in the league. And you're looking at a core. But again, how much money or what's the investment in that unit? So what should be the expectation? Devin Bush is really considered like a average or borderline above average linebacker underneath the premium level. Then DeMarco Jackson or Hippolyte are going to have to play above their current heads for that unit to play up to the dollar or the coin that's being added to that unit. Kobe Bryant replaced Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard based on the money. So when you look at Cam Lewis, that's supposed to be your replacement for Gardner Johnson, I'm assuming. Elijah Hicks, we know he's a special teamer, and he's a guy that's going to be like your 4th safety. So it ain't really nothing lost there. Good locker room kid, homegrown, so you ain't tripping. But go back to the trenches, man. All season need was the trenches. And go out and giving Neville Gallimore the kind of coin that you gave him guaranteed for 2 years after you just did the same thing with Grady Jarrett makes me feel shaky. Tavius Street was a guy that was on the street, as far as I'm concerned. Even though he's a big body and fits the traits need for Dennis Allen, was that money worth being invested there as opposed to digging in the draft and going defensive tackle that you've homegrown? Again, we'll see. So I'll leave it like that, man. You know, not to leave out Daniel Hardy, who they brought back. I don't expect nothing a big deal in terms of pass rush from him, more special teams guy than anything. But, you know, watch the coin, man. Balance the books. To me, I think it's a little shaky right now where we looking.
Yeah, guys, you know, and I agree with you, Shaw. Guys got to produce. We got rid of guys, and we got probably some people, you know, a lot of people like to move. You get younger, you probably get faster. You get guys that's, you know, pretty much Dennis Allen's scheme of guys that he really wanted in his defense. And to be honest, man, guys are just going to have to produce. You know what I mean? The money has to match the production at some point. It just does. Like, if you bring in a guy that's coming off a Super Bowl as a safety, he needs to bring that experience. He needs to bring that pedigree here. Devin Bush was pretty much top 3, top 4, him and DeMarco Jackson in pass coverage. They need to be brought here. So if the money matches production, I think we'll be fine. You know, you go get guys off the street because you don't have the guys that you should have had in the beginning in the trenches. That we don't have to get guys like this. You know what I mean? Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, you know, Grady Jarrett, guys that you're paying so much money for guys you want to keep, you don't want to trade like a Javon Dexter. It's like you stacking. What are you really putting together with this team? What are you really doing on the defensive line with the guys you already got here and the people that you bringing in? Because what are we really doing, Sean? Like it's just continuing the same cycle over and over again because the guys you got here are not good. So it's like we back at square one. We back at the table all over again. But go ahead, Sean. Your mic, Sean.
I got you, brother. Dio Dangbo's $20.5 million is the exact reason why you weren't in free agency to really make a splash for a Lyndon Vaughn or actually getting Trey Henderson without it being a question. When you just dropped the bag on the doorstep, that $20 million itself took you out of that equation. And any kind of extra moves that you wanted to facilitate in terms of trade went out the door with that as well. And keeping it in the buck, paying a 33-year-old defensive tackle, Grady Jarrett, $18 million guaranteed. It's flagrant, bro. The shit flagrant. It's flagrant. He didn't make an all-pro. He need to play like a boy with a hell on his back next year for him to come close to the type of production that he's supposed to be given with the money he's given in terms of annual salary, bro. Right. You know, it's a joke for me to take it for real if we talking about building the trenches and we got guys making these type of decisions, bro. Like, come on, man. Dial 27, so you could sell me upside, but $20 million?
Yeah.
He got to be ferocious next year.
Right. That's a lot of bread for a guy, man. That's a lot of bread for a guy. That's
you give it to Javon Dexter?
No. Hell no.
Okay, so is he? If you're not saying you're not giving that to Jervon, then he ain't better than Jervon. Then what are we really talking about, then, G?
You know what we talking about, man. We'll be up here all night. What we really saying. People already know what we really saying, man. It's just coming down to, you know, Dio's a bad deal, man. I mean, I know he got hurt. You want up here, everyone want to say he got hurt because of injury. What did he look like before he got hurt? What was he really doing? You're pretty much giving guys contracts that's saying that you want to win now mode. Anytime you give a guy $25 million, $24 million, $20 million on a deal for defense, that means we're in win now mode. So if I'm watching it and I'm trying to understand what we're doing on the defensive side of the ball, and you paying a guy $20 million and $18 million, and it's win now money, but we don't get win now sacks. We don't get win now pressures. We don't get win now, sack fumbles. So the money and the production does not match, man. The guys that's on this team right now. You're paying people $18 million, Grady Jarrett, Dio $20 million. And it's like, and our defense has not improved as far as the defensive line. And now here we come again with the draft where I'm saying it's the most important draft ever because we got the 25th pick, the 57th pick, and the 60th pick. Those are starters, man. Those are starters. Those guys should come in right away and be able to produce on your team, man. So it's just a mixed bag of what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? If I got to be honest, if I got to be real, it's just ugly, man. The defensive side of the ball with the money you got these guys and the money that they're guaranteed to get in this one last season, because I know they can move on from Grady probably next year. They can probably move on and all these guys like that. But for right now, man, we got to eat that cat, shot.
Well, also a nugget for you: Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Gardner Johnson, and Nashawn Wright's total contract is less than if you put Grady and Odangbo's money together. So you literally could have brought back all 4 of the free agents that the Bears lost this year and still had $8 million left for the contract of Dio Odangbo and Grady Jarrett. You have to acknowledge when you fuck up how it looks and how it impacts your roster. So this is why when we talk draft, we talk about guys having to reach for players because you have a need. These are the situations why.
Yeah. We got my man, the Bears Den podcast. What's up to Andy and Clarence and Todd over there, man? And I'm gonna read a couple of those comments y'all got for me right here, man. And you right, Shad. It's just, we said motivated Dio. What's up, Josh? We got Josh in the chat right now. We got the Bears Den podcast. Says Jared and Dio are bad contract. Those two contracts really screw us. Dexter is a rotation piece on the Super Bowl team. Well, I don't even know if Javon Dexter is a rotation cook at a KFC at this point right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if he's that. It's just a bad pick. He never really developed to me. And we look like we have to draft his replacement, man. We got to draft his replacement, bro. And there's some monsters that's in this draft that you have so well put together. Man, me and Shai, we get together, man, and say, Shai, send me the people that you want, bro, and I'm going to come up with the graphics. I'm going to come up with the edit. And he give me the names, I do the edits, and we pull up and we going to cook, man. So the first person up, wherever he want to go, we just going to go with it, man. K. McDaniel, big fella right here, Shai. You want me to pull him up? The only thing you got to tell me, say, G, pull up the highlight. I want to talk over one of the highlights. So let me know if we're doing just the overlays, the pictures, or you want me to pull up the highlights too, man. Let me know. Mike shot. Your mic shot.
For the most part, B, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the names I gave you are guys. Looking at what Ryan Post has done. Looking what this coaching staff brought to the table last year. Looking at the crop of players and the caliber of players in this draft class. What would make sense, what I could see visually based on the archetypes. Caden McDaniel, if you want to start there, because he there. Talented run defender. This is a quote from a scout. Plays with a natural leverage and rattles pads to initiate contact. He's quick to locate ball carriers and off the ball blocks and rattles to the action. Means he has a nose for the ball. You look at his highlights, you want to, man. He's a dog in the center of a defense. It's very skewed to watch highlights in college from certain guys in certain positions because of who's around him. He has two All-Americans around him on the defensive line. He's a one-year starter, but his traits are there. He is a disruptor in the middle of the defensive line. My son loves him.
We hear you, rookie, like draft him. Get K. McDaniel. And, when we need a fat boy in the middle of the field, Shy, we need a guy right there that we're looking at his highlight right here, a run stopper, you know what I'm saying? A guy with quick feet, you know what I'm saying? Quick hands that he got mittens for hands, hard mittens, callous hands. And from what the tape I looked at him, man, he doesn't give up on plays. Like, he's coming at the running back. He's coming at the quarterback. He's steady going. And one thing I noticed about him is that his motor is insane, man. A big fella that motor don't quit, man, that you can play him pretty much the whole game. So he's 98, man. He's a big guy. And I just love his measurables, man. And I'm going to look up some of his measurables right now. If you give me 1 second. And you can pick it up right there. What you got, man?
I think he just plays with leverage consistently, man. And he often wins because he's powerful at the point of contact, man. Big guys that are powerful at the point of contact and they have some lateral speed and agility athletically, it pops on film, man. And that's what you get in your buddy. I don't necessarily have an NFL comp for him, but I do know that if you're thinking about putting him in this particular defense, even though he might not be the best scheme fit in terms of a true defensive tackle the way Dennis Allen likes, he can be so disruptive on first and second down. It's kind of difficult not to want him on your roster. Considering the fact you don't have a nose tackle, you don't have a legitimate defensive tackle that you can anchor your defensive on, and you need an anchor on your front. If you don't have no belly of your defense, you're losing weight.
Mm-hmm. For sure. For real. So we're gonna keep it moving right here, man. We're just gonna keep it moving. We're gonna get it to the next person, man. Just to keep it fresh, man. We want to take up too much y'all time, man. So you know, the next person we're gonna talk about, man, is another person Shad came up with for me, and that will be. Hold on, y'all. This is another one of Shad's prospects, man. So what we giving y'all right now, bro, is the pre-draft episode, man. We got the legend Shad is in the building, bro. So the next big guy we got right here is Darrell Jackson Jr., man. Another one of the guys you want me to pull up and talk about today, man. So what's your infatuation? What's the things about Darrell Jackson Jr. that you like so much, Shad?
He has enormous presence. Big freaky motherfucker. Think of Akeem Hicks.
Big homie?
Guy that's a big animal. A guy, when you think about a bear, he fits the profile of a bear when standing up. On pads, he has the ability to disrupt games by himself. Mm-hmm. Now, his college tape may not impress a ton of people, but for me, I mean, I saw giant hands, I saw a wingspan over 7 feet. For me, I got this from a scout. He said he can reach out to runners with his arms and pull them from the sidelines. So that makes up for any athletic traits he doesn't have in terms of a burst because of his athletic frame. When you talk about a long, big guy that when he gets in one direction, it's like, damn, how do we move that? You don't.
Right.
You don't.
Yeah. So, and as I look at the film right now, man, I'm just looking at the film, man. He's right there at the point of attack. He's a big guy. You said of Akeem Hicks. I love Akeem Hicks, man. Somebody that was aggressive, ferocious, fast. You know what I mean? He was a monster inside that defensive line, man. And that's something that we need, bro. We don't have any monsters on our defense, man. We don't have any.
I think we do have monsters. I think the problem is we don't have a good enough collection for those guys to stand out and play their true positions. You need somebody on the interior that's going to be able to affect the A-gap every play. This is one of those guys that when, regardless if he's being attacking upfield or if he's just having him pressure the gap, he's going to disrupt the fucking play because of his size, bro. Mm-hmm. Him and Dexter together could be a formidable combination, and it will allow Dexter to be a little bit more free to rush upfield, which may unlock that motherfucker. So, a guy that I would like based on his traits, his measurables, and how I see or envision him next to Javon Dexter. He's inconsistent as fuck, but with that type of size, if you look up his measurables, it's animal.
Mm-hmm. And I got his measurables right here, man. He is 6'5.5". 315 pounds, man. He's a big guy, bro. And I think his arms are 34 3/4 arms, and he got 11-inch hands, bro. 11-inch hands. And we got the Bears Den podcast, and here saying we have no one with a real attitude on the D line. Yeah, we don't, man. And I think that's something that you need to play the position, bro. You got to be somebody that's willing to be a little crazy out there, man. And this guy right here, look, big legs, he's wide, he's strong. Look at him powering through. Power. You know what I'm saying? A man that big supposed to be that strong, in my opinion. God, like, be an immovable object, man. Get to it. Be nasty. We need you to do that. So I'm liking what I'm seeing.
How many 3rd and 1s and 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s, the Chicago Bears get their ass ran on? You put him in the mix, a lot of that shit stops. Because you got to run away from it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We're going to keep it moving, man, with the next one. You know what I'm saying? We don't play around in here, man. If anybody know me, man, we get to it. We get our work in, and we get up out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 people in here right now, so we just got to keep it moving. Tell me about this guy right here, Xavier Harris, man. I was looking at him, man, and I was like, this is a big boy. I'm looking at the picture right here like, Shad know what he picking. Shad know what he doing, man. Shad know what we need, man. And Shad we trust, man. So give me this feeling about this guy, Xavier Harris, man. What we got, Shad?
Massive, rare combination of size, speed, power. Like, if you look at his measurables, it's very impressive to see a gentleman that big have the fluidity that he does. And I'm talking about around the line of scrimmage. Everybody talking about Caleb Banks, and I get it. Caleb Banks is a big human, bro. Broke his foot 5 times. I'm not interested. Okay? Harris, though, is very disruptive. His alignments are good. He's versatile on the inside, and you can slide him a little bit on defensive end situations on third and shorts. He got untapped potential to me. The reason I like him because I think you can line him up with a couple different spots on the defensive line, and he has the same type of mold as Montez Sweat. I remember when Jonathan Allen was in Washington, Montez looked phenomenal because he had a guy that's just as stout as he was on first and second down. So it allowed Montez to have a little bit more freedom as a right end to be able to be disruptive on passing situations. Like, I'll put it like this. Odd or even fronts, to me, I think he's big enough to be an attitude changer for this team, bro. Gets the run, man. He just gets to the ball, bro. Big, nasty motherfucker. And to me, you need a couple of those. Playing in the SEC, you understand that you're going to run up against the best. And he smacked every running back this year upside their head. If you watch it, he lives in the backfield. He's a tackle for loss king, which is what I like. You know, and for me, if you can push the pocket, you can disrupt the play. And for me, every time the ball is snapped, I don't necessarily look at his motor being a problem. I look at him just having, show me the assignment, coach. Show me the assignment, coach. And he has a couple different things fundamentally to shore up, but that's just being young. And I think if he's willing to be coached, Buddy can be a grip.
Man, well said. And we're going to get to some of his spots right here. Look at him right there. Come here. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Don't make me tell you again. He's on the edge right here, Shaw. Look. Big fella on the edge. Look. Boom. Right to it. Right to it. On the edge again. So they line him up on the edge. Going inside. Your mic, Shaw.
Just instructing my son not to be running a 4-4 flat in the living room. But nah, man, this Buddy got a load, bro. He got a load.
Yeah.
And if you notice, anytime he's single block or not double team or duo, he's in the backfield, which is what you want in your Chicago Bear defenders, disengaging the offensive lineman and getting upfield. See, my son loves him.
I hear you, rookie. Like, yeah, he agree. Yeah, and this is his measures right here, man. He's 6'7", 320 pounds, bro. That's a big guy, man. 6'7", 320 pounds. Let me see if I can get his hand size and stuff like that. Let me see if I can get his hand size. Let me see. His arm length is 34 inches, 34 and 5/8. Hand size is 10 inches. So he got small hands. Let me see if I can pull up some of his pros and cons, man, real quick, and I can read them off. Let me see if I got some pros and cons. 1 second. Xavier Harris, he says his pros are elite strength and size. 6'8", he possesses a red frame that allows him to create significant leverage and advantages and disrupts passing lanes, including the high value of pass deflections, active hands, disruption, high leverage, impact, versatility, improved strengths. Some of his cons are shot as off-field concerns. Harris has documented a arrest for domestic violence and questioning regarding his character, which are major concerns for NFL teams. High-waisted pad level issues, lateral movement and balance, limited pass rush arsenal, and he's inconsistent, like you said. So, good one by my guy, Shad, man. We're going to pull him up again, man. The next guy we got up here, yo, man, is who's next? I'm trying my best to be as fast as I can. So y'all gonna have to give me. Go ahead, Shaw.
No, you good, brother. Take your time.
So we got
who's next? No words, I like to say.
Ruben Bain Jr., Shaw. This was one of the ones you want me to pull up and find, man. So tell me what you got for Ruben Bain Jr., man. Let the people know what's going on with him. Why you pick him? What's so special about him?
I think he's the best pass rusher in this draft. I think he's the fourth best player in this draft. I think if the Bears use their assets and not their free agent capital to move up to target a player, this is one of the four that I would do it for. He's a damn animal at 20. He's still growing into his frame. He has the bend of a Hall of Famer at defensive end. He's learning from some of the elites in terms of his ability to get better every offseason or every break in football, which is showing me that his drive is there. So he has the full package. If you put that gentleman in the Chicago Bear uniform, that is your pillar. That's your pillar. That's why I talk about Ruben Bain. He plays football like Mike Tyson. You can deploy him pretty much anywhere on the field if you like, because he is that adequately athletic. And to be quite frank with you, I think he's been disrespectedly under talked about in this particular draft cycle.
Yeah.
And I think a lot has been talked about because of arm length. In my opinion, when you play football, small arms hit just as hard as long arms.
Right.
Now, those things do come in the equation when you're trying to break everything down in terms of the full metrics of a particular player. But when you're talking about a guy that's been already coached by a Hall of Famer, he has all the measurable and traits that you want out of somebody that's just a complete animal. And he don't want to be blocked. That's what you like, the guys that are pass rushers, that he doesn't want to be blocked. He doesn't go out there trying to be blocked. He runs through people to get to the assignment. And that's why I think he would be a pillar on this Bears defense if you put him opposite of Montez, and you would have a phenomenal combination in the division and probably put yourself back in the running to be a top 10 defense. And that's the type of guy you would be getting, in my opinion.
Love it, man. Love it, man. Love it. We're gonna get to some of his measurables right here, man. He's a 6'2", 277 pounds, 277 pounds with 30-inch and 3/4 arms and 9 1/4 hands. And yeah, people saying his measurables are small, but like you say, they hit just as hard. It just as hard, man. So I'm gonna pull up some pros and cons of Ruben Bain Jr., man. So let me get these pros and cons right here, along with the measurables. Elite power and leverage, polished pass rush, has a high motor, proven production. Some of his cons are short arm length, tackling consistency, positional versatility issues, and limited elite bend. So, Shad, anything about any of these pros or cons that I just read that stuck out to you that you want to talk about?
Nope. Boy, badass. Yeah, badass.
Right.
You can move assets to move up if he drops because of his arm length. So let's say 10, 11, or 12. Chicago Bears should be moving assets to try to get up in the draft to get him. If you got to say bye-bye to Cole Kmet, bye-bye to Cole Kmet.
For sure. And with that being said, we're going to keep cooking, man. Y'all know how we do, man. We're going to keep cooking, keeping them coming. What y'all getting right here from Shy right here is a master class of football talk, man. Master class.
Oh man, you're so kind. I appreciate that.
Hey man, we gotta call it what it is. We got the Bears Den podcast in here. Grace. He said Grayson Holton, Christian Miller. Okay, he giving us some more names, man. TJ Parker, Shaw. This dude name, been floating around for a very, very long time, man. So I wasn't really surprised when you brought him up to me and said, man, put TJ Parker on the list. So again, what makes TJ him? Like, what you think is so good about him, and how will he fit this defense going forward, bro?
Pure edge defender, pure edge pass rusher, wiry, long frame that knows how to get sacks. Very down years. Clemson played like shit all year. I watched most of their games. I can't explain mostly how they had what was projected to be the best team in college and fold so horribly. So that's why I think a lot of Dabo Sweeney conversation came up in the middle of the year. We're talking about the player specifically. I think based on the proper reports that I got from a scout, his handwork is above average in both phases. He got great strike ability, sets the edge on the firm side, and had his finishing tackling ability. Average short area burst, but he also has pursuit to give. So to me, it's really just about what's your preference on edge rushing. I like a guy like Austin Booker, if you use this as a comparable, that typically is going to give you a threat to bend the corner. He's shown the ability in one of the best conferences in football to be able to do that on a consistent basis. When you're talking about a guy that had double-digit sacks in college and also had almost 20 tackles for loss, that lets you know that he gets going on that edge, he's got the ability to close the damn door. And I like it. I like it. When you pair that up with a Montez Sweat, it excites me. Because then now you take pressure off of Booker being your focal point in terms of being a specialized pass rusher. And you have two guys that you can throw in rotation and one particular left tackle. That's a hell of a combination if you can run your boy Parker, TJ Parker, and Austin Booker in combination over 4 quarters on that same side. I think the boy is disruptive enough. I think he got enough moxie to want to be very good in this league. So from that standpoint, sign me up for TJ Parker for the Chicago Bears.
I love it, man. I'm gonna get the measurables in. Doing Shy gonna give y'all the breakdown. I'm gonna give y'all the measures. I'm gonna give y'all the pros and cons. I'm doing the producing. Shy cooking with the breakdowns, and I got the measures and the pros and cons. So he is 6'4", 263 pounds, man. His pros are elite run defense, powerful pass rusher. He has a high motor, pro-ready body and technique, young high hustle. Only just turning 21 his rookie season with great work ethic. Some of his cons are limited elite athleticism, inconsistent production in 2025. After a strong 2024, his production dropped. Predictable pass rush moves, inconsistent flexibility, and vulnerable to elite ball handling. So that's some of his cons. You got anything about that, Shad, you want to get into?
Hey, fits the measurables Ryan Poe's like. Yes, Allen likes a 6'4" defensive end with a lot of bend and speed to give. So he fits the frame. Let's see if he fits the game based on what they like on tape.
Man, shout out to the 22 people in here, man. I hope you guys enjoy what me and Shad are doing right now, man. Appreciate this Shoot the Red End podcast hanging out. We cooking, man. Shad, you want me to keep it rolling, big dog?
Super cool. Let's get it.
Let's get it. So the next guy you want me to talk about is Danny Dennis Sutton, man. I'm unfamiliar with him, man, but I know you know what's going on with this guy right here from Penn State. Even up from the picture right there, he looks like he's a beast. He's like a monster. Straight up. So what's so great about with Danny Dennis Sutton, man? What's going on with him?
Even though we share the same last name, this is not a biased selection at all. Defensive end with a lot of fucking toughness. He's effective against the run. He's good against the pass in terms of being able to get to the sideline and get to running backs in the pass, whether it's a screen game or the wheel game. He's explosive, man. Penn State has this ability to generate pass rushers or defensive end hybrids that are very unique to the NFL game, and he's another one of them motherfuckers. And to me, he could be a force for the Bears. I mean, he got bounced around a little bit because of his size and how he kept his pad level because he lost leverage trying to compensate. But the boy is a freak. He got heavy hands at the point of attack. So if you step back or you have any of these big offensive right tackles or left tackles that are anticipating a small guy to come at you with a quick move, he's got full bulldoze behind those hands. And don't get it twisted. He's coming to be violent with the quarterback. So for me, I just like his traits. To me, if you look at his inside ability, he has a couple different moves. He gets you with the spin. He also has a dip move. One of the scouts pretty much said that he flattens the pocket. He's very predictable in terms of his rush, but he does lack the burst and bend to be elite. He does have an elite level of elite level of violence and brute force when he challenges tackles on the weak ankle. So for me, he can play right or left side in a rotational situation at defensive end. You want a guy to be able can impact in the run, but also have traits and skills to be able to be used in the pass rush situation. He fits that bill, bro. Any type of slow metric type of left tackles that might be in this division, Green Bay, he will take advantage of those matchups. So once again, just like TJ Parker, we looking at another guy that you can put in rotation with Austin Booker and make a very, very nice combination for Chicago.
Man, for real. I love it. We got the Bears Den podcast right there. Sutton sets a nasty edge versus the run. Okay, Andy in the building. He say Sutton sets a nasty edge versus run. But I'm gonna give y'all the measurables right now, and I'm gonna give y'all the pros and cons. He's 6'5", 5'8", 256 pounds. Arm length is 33 inches and a half. His hand size is 10 and 1/8 inch. Wingspan is 82 and 1/4. His 40-yard dash is 4.6. 10-yard split, 1.63. Vertical jump, 39 and a half. Broad jump, 10 to 11 inches. 3-cone technique, 6.9. Some of his pros are elite run defense, physicality and length, high motor, versatility, technical hand usage, has strong initial punch and hand usage against blockers. His cons are limited bend and agility, pass rush polish, iPad level, tweener concerns. Some couch him as a lacking the explosive burst of being an elite edge rusher, but potentially like to be a consistent interior rusher. So what's your thoughts on that last one right there? Anything you got?
Tweeners right now are the thing, man. You got to understand, if you have a great coach, you're going to find a way to utilize your weaponry. Right now, the Bears don't have a guy on third down that you can utilize as a specialist and being able to line up in different situations to attack a defense in terms of attacking the offensive line based on dude's traits. He's not a 3-down defensive end at this point of his life, no. But he's got enough nasty in him where you can play him on first or second down with teams that are heavy pass and you can get to the QB. If you look on the plays that you're posting, you're seeing them all over the defensive line. Whether they're everywhere. Spy situation or they just doing situations where they're keeping them on the edge to keep it contained. The kid got the chops, bro. Whether you look at his measurables or not, I think he's got the type of gump that'll be a hell of a bear.
Bear down. Look, man, let's keep it moving. Man, Shot is in the building cooking right now, giving y'all elite breakdown right now. And the next person we got on the list is this kid right here. You say, gee, I need you to pull up that Arvell Reese footage, man. I need that Arvell Reese. So, Shot, what's the thing about this? Because I thought these are linebackers, right? He a linebacker? So he a linebacker, Ohio State, man. So what is about him that's sticking out? Would you like you say, Shot, we need a policeman, man. We need a policeman in the draft, man. So this might be one of the first ones you're thinking about. So what's the news about Arvell Reese, man? What you got?
Along with Ruben Bain, he's one of the other 4 players that I would move all of my first 3 assets for and include next year assets to acquire to this year's team. Arvell Reese is dynamic, 20 years old and a motherfucker. You can put him in middle linebacker. You can put him at outside linebacker. What you lost in what you lost with Tremaine Edmonds, you would forget tomorrow. What you think you're going to get with TJ Edwards returning and what you're gaining with Devin Bush, you would be getting with Arvell Reese. Quite frankly, I don't know why he's not being considered for the number 2 selection automatically right behind Mendoza, because what he offers you is a guy that can rush the passer at any place in the front 7. That's Michael Parsons. Okay, that's what you're talking about drafting when you talk about Arvell Reese. He runs forward with a lot of force. Pro game, he can play off ball, he can play on ball, hand in the ground. He is phenomenal. Quite frankly, he would be a pillar of any defense in this particular establishment in the NFL. And even though he played with help on that defensive line and also on that front 7, he was the guy teams were looking at game plan day 1. He lived up to most of the hype to be an All-American this year. It was a little dip in overall production in terms of stack numbers, but the way they deployed him made him potentially one of the best players to come out of Ohio State defensively in quite a while. They've put out some really good pros, really good defensive ends. You look at Chase Young, recent history, guys that get it done. So my son likes him too. So as you can see, you can put him on the left side or the right side, and if you're going to move up and pair him with Montez Sweat, you then put yourself in a situation where you now have, just like Houston, 2 of the most elite combination of pass rushers in the league. And that may look very phenomenal for the Bears next year, considering that you're looking at a higher output offensively, meaning that the defense can put their ears back. And if you got pass rushers like this, that's what changed shit for a team.
For sure. Well said by Shad. The measurables again on Arvell Reese is 6'4", 241 to 243 pounds, 32.5 to 32 and 7/8 arms, 9 and 1/2 inch 10-inch hands. 40-yard dash, he ran a 4.5. Vertical jump, 43.5, 43.5 inches, man. Broad jump, 134 inches. Bench press, 410 pounds, man. So, his pros are elite versatility, exceptional athleticism, playmaking ability, physicality, and strength. Cons are coverage weaknesses, pass rush technique, zone discipline, production lows. Despite high potential, he saw diminished production in the second half of 2025. Pass rush technique says he relies heavily on raw athleticism, requiring development and technical pass rush moves to succeed against top NFL tackles. Any pushback on any of that, shot before we move on?
No, it's fair, man. It lines up from what I saw on tape and what I watched this particular past year on Saturdays, man. Ohio State was led by that guy, and even though they had 3 other probable first-round picks, dude was an anchor, man. For me, it was his discipline in terms of big games. Mm-hmm. He seemed to always be around the ball. Guys like that give me good energy and good vibes, and they normally turn out to be really, really good pros. So I'm Team Marvell Reese if the Bears decide to jump up out their body and move up in the draft for somebody.
Mm-hmm. And the next person we got up here is I think you got Sonny Styles up here, man. So let me bring up old Sonny Styles. I think I had him up here. Where is he at? No, that's not it. I'm going fast. Here you go, right here. Sonny Styles, man. Your boy Sonny, another linebacker, man, another policeman, man. So, Shaw, what you got for the people, man? What you need them linebacker position, man?
Look, I ain't got to tell nobody nothing about Sonny Styles, and they've been said on TV over the last month since the combine, bro. He a freak. Mm-hmm. He a freak. He a football freak. When you be a creative football player, that's what you made with Sonny Styles. You put him in the middle of your defense and watch back. Say, damn. Sideline hit. Running backwards, interception. Running forward, sack. Mm-hmm. Policeman, the guy that you put in the middle of your defense and you let him be great. And even though he lined up at a few different spots in terms of the weak side or the strong side at Ohio State, I think that was more facilitated based on who they had personnel-wise. Make him your middle linebacker. If you move up, you put him at your middle linebacker spot, DeMarco Jackson becomes more important. Mm-hmm. Devin Bush becomes more important in terms of his speed. You don't have any type of pressure on getting anything from TJ Edwards. This kid, quite frankly, can run with running backs and tight ends. He comes up, and even though he don't lay the lumber like I'd like, you don't get yards after he touch you. I can deal with that. Mm-hmm. You put number 0 in the middle of your defense for the next 5 to 7 years. You get yourself a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker that won't get outran by any mobile quarterback who killed us last year. Mm-hmm. We were destroyed with mobile quarterbacks that can move the pocket or extend the play. You had 20 hours to throw the ball. You don't get that with Sonny Styles. He sits there as a spy in the middle of the field. End of the fucking possession.
Right. Yeah, for sure, man. And ever since I seen him, man, he popped up on my screen, man. He's pretty much smoked what somebody called the underwear Olympics. He smoked it, man. And he's gonna shoot up draft boards, man. But these are some of his measurements right here, man. 6'5", 244 pounds. Arm length is 32 inches 7 1/8. Hand size 10 inches. 40-yard dash. He ran a 4.4. Vertical jump is 40+ inches. Broad jump is 11+ feet. Let me get back to some of his pros and cons, man. Pros is elite athleticism and size. A legendary recorded 2026 scouting combine vertical of 43.5 inches and a broad jump of 11 and 2 inches. Coverage versatility, elite ability to cover tight ends and slot receiver due to safety background. So he plays safety. High IQ, and he's a tackler. Sharp pre-snap diagnosis and improved drastically as a sure tackler in 2025. Versatility, he can be deployed as a sub-package weapon, might, will, or big nickel. Man, it's kind of hard to believe they got any cons on this dude, Shad. Cons is inexperienced at linebacker, play strength concerns. He can be bullied by interior offensive linemen, yeah. He has hip tightness. He exhibits tightness in man coverage against quick-twitch receivers. Scheme dependence based on use in space rather than between the tackles. I don't know, Shad. It's like they pulling for straws to give him some type of con. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm saying. what I was reading right there.
Well,
man.
I mean, when you evaluating the player, bro, you got to look at the entire aspect of his game. You know, he is an impressive talent. It's very difficult to find negatives with his play and the way that he played for that particular university, bro. He played great in every type of situation, run fits, pass situations, zone, man-to-man circumstances. He popped on screen. He has eye candy in terms of his traits and his speed, his measurables. It's obvious. So honestly, it really just comes down, is he willing to be coached? Does he want to work harder to be great? And if those things come to be true, you get yourself a hell of a football player. And so it's hard to find negatives in that. And I think with Chicago having success with their last great inside linebacker, making the conversion from safety to inside linebacker, it might be time to do a part 2.
Man, you heard him. You heard him. You heard him, man. You heard Shad, man. But we're going to keep it cooking, man. Who else do we got up here, man? We got my guy. Hold on there, people. We just did Sunny Style. So the next guy we got right here is Anthony Hill Jr. Anthony Hill Jr. was another person, another linebacker you want me to bring up, Shad, man. We're cooking through these, believe it or not, bro. We almost finished. We got like one more position group I think we got left to do. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 more guys left, Shad. So what's your thoughts on Anthony Hill Jr., man? What you got for me?
Oh, man. A Hill, bro. I mean, he's getting a lot of notoriety recently, or since the combine. He measured out really well, as you'll discuss, man. But for me, I think he diagnosed plays like a middle linebacker should, even though he was raw and young. I think guys just have certain instincts to play the position. He showed me all the traits of the instinct of a middle linebacker that I would love to see on the Bears. Whether you put him with DeMarco Jackson or you put him with Bush, you get 2 freakish athletic guys that can play coverage, play tight ends, and can cover running backs. And they both come down the hill and dump. And that's what you want on your defensive situation.
Mm-hmm. So, hold on, I'm gonna bring him up right here, man. You can cook. You can continue cooking. Ugh. Here he is on film, man. Just looking like a guy. He's always got a nose for the ball, Shad. What I'm seeing when I watch some of his film, he's always around the ball, man. His eye discipline is really good. He got really good feet. He's anticipatory when he's going to make a move. So everything I've seen from him, from the little bit of film I did watch, man, his eyes are always on the quarterback. He follows the ball well. He got good feet. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to track the football. He's like he just knows where to be at all times, man. He just knows where it need to be at, man. We got comments. What's up, Rakir? She said, great conversation, great perspective. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for pulling up to the show. Really do. Rakir. So that's what I'm saying from him, man. Good eye discipline shot. You know, he does seem like he takes too much of a gamble, and it seems like he can process things kind of quickly when whatever he's looking at. He's always looking at the quarterback. That's one thing I did notice. He's always following the eyes of the quarterback.
He don't like to be blocked.
Mm-hmm.
He don't like to be blocked. He like to make plays, and he got the speed to do it. You know, and for me, that means that you got good instincts, bro. You got good instincts. So I think that's a kid, if you put in the middle of the defense and pair him with another linebacker at the same level, you got a hell of a combination, bro. And a kid that'll be on your team for a while. Think about a Bobby Wagner type guy. When you look at him at a full finished product, if everything around him is set up, situated, or in the right space, he could be a very good middle linebacker for the Bears for the foreseeable future. I ain't gonna lie about that one.
Well said. So, and of course, I got the measurables, y'all. He's 6'3", 238 pounds. He impressed at the 26 combine with a 4.5, 40-yard dash, 37-inch vertical, 10-foot broad jump, man. And this is some of his physical traits and some of his pros, man. Athletic playmaker, elite blitzer, run support, highly disruptive in the backfield with 31.5 tackles for loss and 17 sack shot. 31.5 tackles for loss, man. That's what I like to hear. Physicality and size, 6'2", 238 pounds. He possesses strong, thumpy tackling ability and wide, long arm tackling radius. High motor, played in 40 games, provided instant impact experience with strong, consistent pursuit. Versatility, capable to play a Mike inside or Sam outside or edge linebacker position, showing strength in forward movements. Cons are coverage consistency, diagnostic hesitation. He hesitates blocking, shedding, has a hard time shedding blocks, and over-aggression, Shot. He can be over-aggressive, man. What you think?
I don't want a linebacker that ain't aggressive.
Right.
It's your coach's job to tell you where to use that aggression. So for me, I ain't really mad at that. He's not a guy where I think he's gonna lose it on the field. I don't think he's a head case. Just need to hone those instincts and those traits to kind of get him set in the right direction. But to me, I think his instincts are good and his speed matches his instincts. So for me, that's a weapon on defense, not only in coverage, but also a guy that you can use in the front seven to stop him or rush the passer in certain situations. Dennis Allen shows you he'll send you a linebacker in the
right.
And he'll fit that bill in terms of being able to rush from that spot.
Hell yeah. So we're gonna get next to these next guys, man. You told me pull up AG. I need you to pull up Kyle Lewis, man. Kyle Lewis. Now, this is a guy I have no idea who he is, man. So I'm gonna depend on you to tell me what's up with Kyle Lewis, man.
All right, so Kyle Lewis to me, man, is one of those special guys that I kind of like feel like I got a certain type of bias towards because I just like him as a player. I think that with Jaquan Brisker leaving, you need a difference maker in your back seven that can come down in the box on first, second, and on third down could be a rusher or a guy that you can line up on the tight end and trust. And even though Kyle Lewis is an undersized linebacker, he's got the traits and the instincts and the skills of a DB. So when you put that in a linebacker's body, to me, on nickel situations, when you're running a lot of two linebacker situations, you can keep him on the field and he could be an absolute animal for you. And you lose nothing because you gain a guy that's going to help you if the teams decide to run on third down, but a guy that can not only chase quarterbacks, but a guy that's going to be able to be really, really good in coverage, bro. I'm talking about a dude that has instincts to find the ball, has the athletic ability to be able to chase the ball. Like, it's different when you're talking about a guy in one-on-one situation. You see him behind the player. This is a dude that's typically sticky almost in coverage when you think about a linebacker. And it's typically just based on his size. And a lot of people, like I say, he's going to look at being an undersized linebacker. But for me, I look at him as a hybrid guy that you can play on second and third down with a lot of different ways and different packages creatively to have yourself a weapon. And to me, I think the Bears need to start creating weapons with their unit and based on their personnel overall. Because right now, where they're sitting, they're not in a situation to necessarily get the most blue chip or the number one guy at the position. So you got to be able to be creative and identify what your team is or needs. And this is the type of dude that will make you forget about Jaquan Brisker because he's just as dynamic coming up to play the run, but he's also a little bit better and more consistent in coverage against tight ends, which has been kind of a huge knock on Jaquan Brisker if you look at his career as a safety for the Bears. So he posted 24 tackles for a loss, 6 interceptions, and 10 sacks in the past 2 years. That's production. So production to me normally meets the tape, and this is a guy that I would love to see in the Chicago Bears uniform. And you could pair him up with DeMarco Jackson or Bush and put all three of them on the field and raise a lot more hell to me than you did last year with Sewell and the two Edwards boys.
For sure. And this is some of his measurables, man. 6 foot, 6'1", 220 to 224 pounds. 40-yard dash, he ran a 4.3, 4.5, then 4.6, vertical jump 39 and a half, broad jump 11 inches, arm length 31 and a half, almost hand size 9 and a half. Some of his cons and pros and cons are elite coverage ability, instinctive playmaker, versatile blitzer, effective at attacking the backfield and accelerated to the quarterback, added value as an edge rusher or interior blitzer. Cons, undersized, blocking, shedding block, tweener, same thing. So this is another one, Shad, that I love it, man. The more and more we get to draft, that's why I'm glad I'm talking to you, man, because I'm getting into guys that I need to be looking at. So when it's time to go draft, I can just do my little bit of guessing and say, this is what we take it based off the information that Shad provided for me, man. So this is stuff I like to do, man. So I'm glad you're in here cooking with me, man. And it's been a fun show so far, man. We got a couple more people, Shad, we're going to get through. And shit, man, who else we got? So that was Kyle. Then we got D'Angelo Pons, but I've heard his name before, bro. I've been hearing his name wow now, man. So when you pulled him up, you brought him, I was like, we on the same wavelength with this one. So Deanna, man, what's your deal with D'Angelo Pons, man?
National champion, man. Mm-hmm. Excellent eyes discipline in zone. Like, you talk about zone corners, the type of zone coverage that Dennis Allen likes to run. When he does go zone, you need a guy that has very good eyes. Pons has great eyes, bro. Trust this dude on the island, on his space. He's going to make the right break on the ball. Productive on the perimeter in terms of being a cornerback. His report from this scout told me he's tremendously competitive and he has a winning attitude that pretty much attaches to everything he does. He is good as in press release. He's good with slide quickness off of releases for bigger receivers. He's good against any phase of the route tree, as well as he travels vertically with any torque or type of receiver. That means he can line up in the slot or he can line up on the outside. To me, man, I think with Tyreek Stevenson not necessarily locking himself in last year, you need somebody that fits that mold. I think that this is what that kid is. Tough as fuck, very good eyes. Not only comes up and makes a tackle, but you can trust him in space by himself to handle his business and take care of his assignments in zone. And honestly, when you talk about guys with winning attitudes, and it shows in the production, not only in the tape, but when you look at the season that they had, made a lot of plays. So for me, I wouldn't mind having this guy in the rotation for your cornerback room, considering the fact last year, you lost 2 of your top 4, I believe. So having another guy in insurance for Kyler Gordon if he chooses to go down, because he could play the slot for the Bears. This is definitely would be a high value pick for the cornerback position. He could be a DB and you can move him around if you want to get freaky with the ponds. But to me, right, I would leave him at corner and look at him as more of a succession plan for Tyreek Stevenson.
I love it, man. I love it, Shad. I love it, man. And here's his measurables, man. Let me see if I can pull up his measurables.
Okay.
Got his measurables right. He's 5'9", 182 pounds. Arms are 29 inches, 3/8. Hands is 9 inches, 5/8. Some of his pros are elite instinct, playmaking, exceptional athletic ability, and coverage. He also has a 43.5-inch vertical. He's good at physicality and tackling, special teams value, proven ability to contribute immediately, including block punts. Versatility, capable of playing outside corner, but likely to excel in a versatile inside-out role similar to Mike Hilton or Kenny Moore. Cons: undersized stature, short arms, limited scheme fit, gambling nature. So that lets you know he's trying to go out there and he's big game hunting. So he'll get burnt on some things here and there. But I like the aggressiveness, man, and that's going to fit the scheme. And I think that Dennis Allen likes to do is be aggressive. So this is exactly what somebody they're probably more than likely like to have on their team, man.
The reason I think he fit Dennis Allen, and I had to kind of give up my hope that Dennis Allen wouldn't be part of the drafting process, is that he a ball tracker. Calls is required. When the ball's in the air and his assignment is it gets pinged. Hey, I'm up. He's not a guy out of water. He's not a fish out of water with the ball in the air where he can't make a play on it. He will turn his head to make a play on the ball if it's available. So from that standpoint, when you look in this division, Jordan Love, those available balls every now and then. Jerry Goff, those available balls every now and then. Now that we got Kyler Murray, he's going to be rolling all over the field. He's going to throw a couple available balls. So you want a guy that can turn his head and turn his hips at the same time and make some plays because he's sound in zone. So from that standpoint, I like his versatility, being able to line up in a couple different spots for Dennis Allen. But I think he got a nose for the ball, and he got the eyes and the instincts to play a good corner, whether you line him up in the slot or on the outside. Again, he's insurance for Tyreek Stevenson and a good value for the Bears if you get him in the second round.
Love it, man. Shad is over here cooking. We got 2 more people left, man. We got somebody in the comment section. He says, what's up, Iowa Dog? Saying, yo, Supreme is David, man. Great show by CNG Podcast. And we appreciate that, David. Thanks for pulling up and showing love, man. I'm glad you enjoying the show by me and my boy. Shad from the house, man. Appreciate that so much, man. Thank you so much. And the next person we got right here, man, second to last, is Keontae Scott. Another one of them guys you want me to pull up, man. From the Miami's in the building. Shad, what you got for the people for Keontae Scott?
Outside of Michigan University, Miami, I watched the most this year. So I was disappointed with the majority of what Michigan did this year. Even though they got 3 players, I wouldn't mind the Bears having. Mm-hmm. Getting back to Scott, he a playmaker, bro. He a game changer, bro. He got the type of mentality that you would forget about Kevin Byard. He gonna walk in there and have so much swag, people gonna respect it. And it's the type of swagger and the football swagger that carries over to the football field. He's twitchy as fuck. He's gonna hit you. He don't care who you are in terms of him being lined up, mano or mano. He actually had, let me double check, 64 tackles and 13 for loss. 64 tackles from a DB. Needless to say, that's a guy that's not scared of getting his nose dirty, coming downfield and accepting an assignment and putting somebody's fucking lights out. If not, I'm taking the ball away or deflecting it so we can get the possession moved over to the other side. Because honestly, look, this is what I got from a scout. He's edgy, he's urgent. He is near the top of the draft in terms of the ability to slip and play off of blocks. He can snuff out a run before they get started. He also lacks a little bit of the production because of his inconsistency, his anticipation. But he squeezes routes. He's very good in between the hashes. He's a quick twitch athlete. Look at his athleticism married up to his tape, man. I don't know if he's a film guy or if he's just a raw athlete, but I think the Bears need a raw athlete in their secondary. When you got guys in Detroit like St. Brown who destroyed us, Williams who destroyed us, J-Mo just completely destroyed. You need a freaky athlete. Twin with him, bro. It can twin with him. So I call him twin because Keontae can pretty much line up with any freak that this division can offer in terms of guys in the slot. See, my son likes him too. Anytime he get loud, I know he like the
let's go, rookie.
Keontae Scott will be a great value pick, second round for the beloved. And honestly, man, I really started liking him more and more as the season went on. He showed to be a leader for that Hurricanes unit. They got about 2 to maybe 3 first rounders and definitely 4 or 5 drafted players for sure. So good to see him in the Bears uniform if it works out, man, to see this kid play, and hopefully he has a long career. I think he will, if I'm not wrong about him.
Love it, man. Great work by Shaw. He got the measurements for Keontae Scott. He's 5'11", 193 pounds. Has a wingspan of 76 inches, 5/8, arm length 31 inches, 3/8, hand size 9 inches and 5/8, man. So he's not. He's an athlete, like you're saying, Shaw. He got some decent measurables out there, man, for a corner, for real, bro. Pros and cons is for Keontae Scott is elite aggressiveness, playmaker potential, versatility, physicality, and mentality. Known for a culture-changing mindset and willingness to take on blocks, providing tough runs from a slot. That's the one I like the most, Shaw. That physicality, mentality, the willingness to take on blockers, bro. The willingness, man. It says culture-changing mindset. That's a potential leader in your locker room type shit, Shaw. So
make you forget about Kevin Byard, bro.
You quick. Said it, bro. You said it. Yes. So yeah, you were spot on with that one. He got returning capability, experience, return specialist. So he could be on special teams, on cons, tackling, consistency, position restriction, age. He's 25. Over aggressiveness. I don't know how over aggressiveness could be an issue. Age factor, that's not an issue to me. I'd rather have somebody that come in there, man, right away to know how to play football, bro. 24, 25, 23, you know what to do. I'll get you minutes. I can get you reps. I'll get you in right away. You can get your bag quicker. That's all that means to me if you're a little bit older, man, for real. So Keontae Scott, man, I like him, man. I like this guy. So this is a hell of a pick by you, Shaw. This is one of the ones. That whole changing the culture thing, bro. The physicality, mentality, that right there, willing to take on blocks, providing a tough run, defense in the slot. I like it. I like that. He's a monster. I like that for sure. So we're going to keep it moving, man. We got one more left, man. This has been a fire show, man. We've been in pretty much a rapid fire type of show because we had so much stuff we had to get through. So, you know, me and Shaw, we like kid and play. Andre 3000 and Big Boy, you know what I'm saying? Peanut butter and jelly right now, dog. Like, we got to cook them up, man. So we just doing a little bit of what we do the best, man. Work together and create a tandem, man. So the last person, this guy Shaw, is Emmanuel McNeil Warren, man. So what's going on with this guy right here, Shaw? What you got with people, man? Let them know.
Most of the nation had heard about him over the last 3 weeks since the combine, man. He getting a lot of notoriety. Guys like Daniel Jeremiah put him on the spot, man, to be pretty much a locked first rounder. Range year safety in the draft. rangiest safety in the draft. Downhill, lays the wood. Throw the ball deep, lays out for that bitch to intercept it. It's a guy that's gonna go get that ball. And when you talk about EMW, when you get a guy that's gonna condense your name into 3 letters, you know he's destined to have some type of brain.
Right.
He fits the bill. He's tall, he's lanky, he's rangy, he's a downhill safety that we don't necessarily have, which allows Kobe Bryant to play a little bit more of his natural position in safety. Honestly, it's very difficult for me to find some negatives that I saw, what I could find. Based on what the Bears need in the secondary, you need a guy that has some range in the coverage space. The Bears gave up a lot of plays over 20 yards last year, and that has to stop. And as much as we like Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker, those 2 guys did allow those things to happen. So from that standpoint, if you draft this kid, you're hoping that he's going to be that free safety or that quote-unquote policeman in your secondary. According to this scout, McNeil Warren is most valuable when he's playing at the line of scrimmage or in a rob of the position. He anticipates well in coverage and is quick to the close receivers, but he will need to be protected in the scheme to prevent a speed mismatch. If you looked at the combine numbers, he wasn't the most fastest DB that you saw in terms of his overall numbers that you probably gonna run down in the second G. But on the field, if you give this guy a situation where I believe, give him an assignment, you're gonna see the special. And this is one of those guys that I think you draft all traits, because I think that if the guy doesn't get used properly by the coach, it could be one of those boom or bust draft picks. And you hate to put that label on the guy early because it sounds negative, but it's really predicated on the guy got to know how to use you. And like Nick Emmanuri or coming out of South Carolina last year, he had a huge impact on the Seattle secondary last year. Huge impact. And if this guy is somewhere in that realm, gotta look at him being on the board of consideration at 25, even though safety in the first round is egregious by most evaluators in the NFL. But I'm gonna look at it from the standpoint where I would say take your time, make sure that this guy fits what you want. And if you do, master his traits, because he can be nasty in your secondary. You put him and Kobe Bryant together and have something special.
Man, well said. And I'm gonna come with the measurables, man. 6'3" and a half. 201 pounds, 203 arm length, 32 inches and 1/8. Hand size 9 inches and 1/4. Wingspan 78 inches 1/4. 40-yard dash 4.5. Vertical jump 35 and a half. Broad jump 10 feet 2 inches. Man, the pros and cons. Forced fumbles, turnovers. Man, run support, physicality, size and length 6'2". Instinct and range. He exhibits good anticipation, a quick trigger to close on receivers, particularly in cover 2 as a robber. Forced fumbles and turnovers. McNeil Warren is a highly productive at forcing fumbles, 11 in his college career, using the peanut punch technique to create turnovers. If that don't get your bear down up or get your bear going, I don't know what will, Shot. Cons, athletic limitations. It can be over-aggressive, inconsistent tackling, role limitations, man. So, this dude right here look like he's a student of the game with the peanut punch. You know what I mean? So that'll be very good. Bring those vibes back to Hallis Hall, man. Get a guy that's know what that really means to a team, especially a team like Chicago, with a guy that got drafted here pretty much invented that. To see a guy that's pretty much known for that, with 11 career forced fumbles using the peanut punch, sounds like a Chicago Bear to me, Scott.
Well, they prioritize that shit. If you prioritize it, that's part of the things that they need to see on your film, man. He has a knack for it. He's obviously, been taught it. So from that standpoint, he's a student of the game, as you said, which was a very cute awareness point for him, man. I think that also leads to what you see and how he plays so fast on the field, because I think if you're a tape guy, go back and look at Ed Reed. He wasn't the most physically gifted athlete we ever saw at the safety spot. That was Sean Taylor. But the difference that made those guys almost equal is Ed Reed was able to use what he saw in film and materialize that on the field. So he played that faster. This kid seems like if he's a film bully, then watch out, man, because those film bullies change game plans. As you see fam on the field, he changed game plans, bro. And the Bears were tested a lot deep over the middle, underneath over the middle with the slot a lot. And having a guy that can kind of erase that thought early, it's definitely something you might want to invest. They obviously want to get faster. And if you want to add a little more violence to your secondary, McNeil Warren would be fitting the bill.
Man, what a show, man. What a show by me and my guy, Shy, man. Always bringing it. We had the Bears Den podcast pull up in here. We had Josh come through with the Motivated Dial. Shout out my guy Josh on X. Bears Den podcast pulling up in the chat all night, man. We appreciate it. Akira, maybe you new to YouTube, new to CNG podcast. Appreciate
that's wifey.
Oh, that's wifey. Appreciate you pulling up, wifey. I ain't know who it was, man. He said great conversation, great perspectives. Hope you enjoyed it, man. Shout out to Rookie who helped us with the show as well. We needed the energy, Rookie. So he was giving us the okay with the player that his dad picked, man, which is amazing. This has been a fun show, man. We wanted to come up here, you guys, and talk, man. It's the off season, so it's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff to unpack. So, but we all got busy with lives, wives, kids, bills, work. So, I appreciate the time that Shy could come up here. We can get together, man, and just do this, man, because we love football. We love talking football. And we always want to put on a good show, man. Quality, you know what I'm saying, is what we pride ourselves on, whether that's talking about the game, artwork, music, humor, you know what I'm saying? CNG Podcast, we come in here, man, we trying to give you people every single thing we got, man, while we got y'all here, whether there's 42 people, 400 people, 500 people, 600, it really don't matter, man. We're going to come out here and give you people the best show that we can possibly give you guys, man, and that's what we pride ourselves on. And that is something that I look forward to working with Shad as we continue to go on our second season working together, man. So my guy Shad from the South Side, man, the fourth member of the CNG podcast, but he does his own content. I'm also on another podcast with him and my guy Manny. Shout out to Manny with the guy from the South Side podcast. We also do during the regular season. So shout out to Manny as well, man. But Shad, man, tell the people where they can find you, bro.
Hey, man, if you want to catch me doing anything social media related, Shot on Sports is the icon, bro. Check me out, man. I would appreciate it. It's always good to chop up shop on CNG, man, especially when we talking about the beloved, man. So it's definitely good to add to the community, man. Good to work with you again, G.
And look, and we will be back maybe for our actual live NFL draft show, which will be in April. So I don't know the next time we'll be up on here, man. It's the off season, so we got to kind of put everything together, man. So we did our best today. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the weekend, man. It's about 67 degrees in Chicago. Y'all be safe out there. I'm G Walker, 1/4 for the CNG podcast. That's Shad, 1/2 for the CNG podcast. Shout out to Allen. Shout out to CJ. We will see you guys when we see you. Appreciate that. We out of here. Peace.